Hey crafters! We're back here with another TuTu. So for the second TuTu of January and also of 2018, we're going to be continuing our Tunisian crochet theme. So in last week's video, if you missed that, make sure you go back and watch it. But we learned how to start a Tunisian crochet project and also how to finish it. But of course it's great to know how to start and how to stop, but what's the point of knowing those if you can't actually make something? So today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet the Tunisian simple stitch. And what I love about Tunisian crochet is when you're first learning it, once you catch on to the concept, it becomes way easier because you apply the similar concepts a whole bunch of times, and a lot of what making the different stitches comes down to is where you insert your hook. So today we're going to be working on the Tunisian simple stitch, and this is formed by inserting a hook in a way very similar to something we did in last week's video. So once more, I have my Denise interchangeable crochet hooks, and I also have some red heart yarn in gold color. So I'm going to start by chaining 11 and then working the foundation row of Tunisian crochet just like I showed in last week's video. So if you're not sure how to do that, pause this video and go watch last week's video to learn how. So I'll pause for a moment. Again, I don't really know why I picked 11 chain stitches. That was just kind of an arbitrary number. But because I did 11 chain stitches, when I work the forward pass of my foundation row, I'm going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 loops on the hook. So that's just so that way you can make sure you're getting the correct number as you work across. And then remember, when you work on your way back, you yarn over, pull through 1 for that first one, and then yarn over, pull through 2 the rest of the way across until you have just 1 loop left on the hook. So far, we haven't done anything new or different than what we did last week, and now it's time to learn our first stitch. So here we go, it's time to work our next row. Now in normal crochet, we often do what's called a turning chain, and that's what gets us up the side to work on the next row. But in Tunisian crochet, you don't do anything extra to get up to the next row. This loop that you have on your hook that you get from completing the return pass, that's like your way to get to the next row. So we don't do any kind of turning chain or anything like that. Now you'll also notice that we've got a bunch of these posts that go up and down like that. So you can see the loop on our hook has this other loop underneath it. We want to skip that one and go to the next post that's up and down right there. And we're going to take our hook and insert from right to left underneath that up and down post, just like that. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop. So now we'll have 2 loops on our hook. And the key here to create the Tunisian simple stitch is it's all about where we insert the hook. By inserting the hook underneath that post from right to left, that's going to create the pattern that's known as the Tunisian simple stitch. To complete the forward pass on this row, I'm just going to go along, and in these up and down posts all along, I'm just going to put my hook under from right to left, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. Find the next one, insert underneath it from right to left, yarn over, pull through a loop. And I'm just going to complete this process the entire way down this row. Now there is one little catch, and that happens when we get to this very last stitch. Instead of coming just underneath this front post, we're going to also go under another loop, and that's going to create a nice smooth edge instead of it either being wobbly or just kind of lacy and holy. So we're going to come underneath the post there. We're also going to go underneath this piece that runs across this way. So I'm going to insert it right in here. So you can see I've got those 2 loops on there right now. I'll pull this hook out so you can see where I went through. So underneath those 2 loops right there, I'm going to insert my hook right under there. And then just like normal, I'm going to yarn over and pull through all that. And now I've completed the forward pass for a row of Tunisian simple stitch. To complete the return pass, really simple. We're going to do basically the same thing we've been doing. With this first one, we're going to yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and keep going like that. Now this is where it does get a little goofy because you've got all these loops on here and you're trying to be aware of your tension, so don't forget to keep sliding these loops up to the end of your hook every now and then, so that way you can achieve proper tension. Just yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back across. And then once you're down to 1 loop on your hook, you've completed a row of Tunisian simple stitch. So here you can see what that looks like. You'll end up with these posts that go up and down, and then these other 2 loops that run left to right. And so it creates this really neat pattern. And we'll do another row so that way you can get the hang of it better and also see what it will look like the further you go. So remember, to start the row, we don't do anything fancy. We just skip this first up and down post and insert our hook from right to left in the next up down post. Yarn over, pull through 1. Go to the next up down post and keep repeating this process all the way across. Insert the hook from right to left underneath the post. Yarn over, pull through 1. Insert the hook from right to left underneath that post. Yarn over, pull through 1. And just keep working it all the way down, but don't forget, the last one is a little bit different, and I'll show you again where to go under. I have mentioned a book in a couple of my other videos, and it's helpful to invest in a paper resource like Get Hooked on Tunisian Crochet by Cheryl Thies. I'm not sure how you say her last name. But anyways, that's a good resource because it has some diagrams and things in there that it's a little hard to show in real life with the yarn. But I will do my best to show where we need to insert the hook. So normally we would go under right here because that's that post that goes up and down. But we want to also catch this little piece that goes across right there. So we're gonna come right underneath both of those like that. Take that out so you can see it. So this piece that runs under here, go underneath that, catch that on your hook, and then catch that up down piece on your hook. So then end up with those 2 on there. So hopefully you can kind of see where you need to go. So under the one that runs across, come underneath that with my hook, and then catch that up down post. And once I've got both those on there, yarn over, pull through 1, and it'll come through right like that. And now it's time to just finish off. So here you can see the stitches forming even better. You've got a bunch of these up down posts, and then you have these kind of strands that run across from left to right down in there. But it's this really pretty dense fabric, got a lot of stretch and play to it. I really like it. So if you can kind of get a feel for what it looks like and some ideas of what the texture will be like, all we need to do now is finish off this row. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and keep doing that until you're left with 1 loop on the hook. And there you go, just like that, you've learned the Tunisian simple stitch. Now you might notice that this top part here does seem to have a different texture and pattern than these other 2 rows, and that's because when you work the next row, it fills in the gaps, or if we were going to finish off our project, we would work a finishing off row like we did in last week's video, and that would fill in those gaps and keep a consistent look like the Tunisian simple stitch. But now you have a basic idea of how to work multiple rows of Tunisian crochet. I hope that you're enjoying learning how to Tunisian crochet. I know I'm having fun teaching it and also kind of practicing and refreshing myself. So make sure if you haven't seen last week's video that you go back and watch that, because again, this video won't make as much sense without that video. But also make sure you come back next week so that way you can learn another stitch. We're going to either cover the purl or the knit stitch. I'm going to think about it a little bit longer and decide which one I think makes more sense to learn next, and also which one is a little bit easier for while we're still getting going. But they're both really neat stitches, so I'm excited to show those to you. And then also later on in the month, I'll probably have a video on how to change color, because I love Tunisian crochet because it's so easy to change color. Plus, when you change color, you get some really cool results. So anyways, those are just some things to look forward to. Don't forget to come back next week. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you aren't already one of my crafters. But until next week, happy crafting. Bonus public service announcement. If you have a head cold, these are the best cough drops ever. I am currently kind of sick, so I have been popping these cough drops all day, and let me tell you, they're amazing. These are like the flavor of my childhood. Paul's Breezers, Cool Berry, you can't beat these kind of cough drops. So stay healthy, and if you need cough drops, buy these because these are like my favorite.